would be usurped.
Well, well,
Or
that there's some, as far as legalities,
no,
it all depends
maybe
on
not
the
that actually.
language. As far as legal things go, it all depends on the language. So if you use the word usurpation, or you use fraud, or you use fucking it all defines it as different things. I see it as a massive fraud, okay? Because we're not informed when they create these fictional entities. All right, it's just like a corporation when you're using your birth certificate instead of your certificate of live birth. You can okay, so
Okay, so
when
they're identifying you. What I'm hearing and what I hear is basically what you just told me, and it is so they're identifying you and me. They do the same thing here,
mhm,
right? So they're
right,
identifying you at birth, right?
right,
And they're putting
right,
you in a system, not only knowing who you are, but now you have rights as a citizen of that land and
right,
that province or state. For me, it's a province, right? I'm in the
right,
province of Ontario.
correct,
Okay, so how else would you do it and give that person
right.
amiable rights? And what the point
I
of it all is, who is going to enforce the rights,
Right.
right?
There has to
Men
be
of good value
a
need
our
to
declaration.
regulate and enforce people's rights,
Right. Correct.
or else
Correct.
it would just be the Wild West, and I could go, and if I have a dispute with someone, I can just do whatever I want, which you can't.
Correct. Correct. Right.
And that's
So
why
in order in
we have the
order
civilized
for
society.
the re,
So my question to all of this that sovereign citizens get into is, how else would you do it? That was my original point. You
please
would come
stop
down to basically the same
calling it
thing.
that. Please stop calling it that. Okay? That is a term that was made up to cloud the fucking waters.
Okay,
Okay?
well, okay, if you want me to call it something
It's
else,
the
then tell
real
me what it
thing.
is. But you
The real
understand what I'm
thing
talking about, though.
is, as a natural born state citizen, which you're a living being. Okay, so
Yeah.
here in America, the United States government, the power therein, important legal language, the power that created the government, the power that created the United States, comes directly from the people. Okay? And the United States is only supposed to exist to protect those rights. But there has been a, I call it treason and fraud. Okay. So they're not informing people of the implications when they, at the hospitals, hand these mothers these documents. Okay. Your certificate of live birth is swept away to the state registrar's office, and they do it on purpose. You have to go through a whole fucking process in order to get that back. And there are people that are doing it. But because everyone has been living the life under the corporate veil, we'll call it. And I know you've heard the
So
term
then the
corporate.
argument is, you want people to have or they want people to have anonymity, that
No, we're
you're
talking
just
about
like you're like a
classes.
squirrel. There is no name to
No,
you. There is no
no,
identifying you.
no. What you don't understand is that you can do both, and they don't tell us. Okay, you can be a private state citizen and retain all of the rights implied in that, which includes our Declaration of Independence and the Bill of Rights, which gives us all of our freedom of speech, freedom of due process, freedom to not incriminate yourself, freedom to bear arms, freedom of movement and travel, the pursuit of life and happiness. These are all considered in America to a state citizen or a citizen of the several states, meaning the state of the Union, or if you don't know about that, then you are a United States citizen because you have not expressed that you are capable of maintaining a what's called a major estate. Okay, once you take control of your major estate, that means that you have your own trust, and all of your property is, uh, all of your assets are enclosed within your trust, and that you're capable of operating on that level. You have to be able to do that, right? So once you learn about how all that stuff, and this is why it's a trap, because all of the information about how to do that has been locked behind a paywall. Like, you have to pay millions of dollars for your education in order to learn this stuff, right? It is real stuff though, and you can go into the United States codes, and you can go into the federal laws and the very specific, you know, section and all that, the details of the law itself, and you can see that this is true, but you have to understand legal language. Legal language is how they have clouded the waters, so things that we say, commonplace words, mean something else in legal language, and they have made it very, very difficult to do that. And this is why it's fraud and why it's treason. There is both sides. People are doing it right now, okay? But they are not people who go off half-cocked thinking, well, I'm not going to do any of this. I'm not going to study. I'm not going to learn. I'm not going to do anything. I just want the rights that I'm supposed to have, and I'm just going to fucking do what I want, right? They get caught up, arrested, go to jail, and everyone calls them a sovereign citizen. And that term is not a real thing. That's not anything. That's not the title of anything. Nobody who knows anything about what I'm talking about considers themselves a sovereign citizen. You are a state citizen. You are a part of the American territory. You swear allegiance to America. You swear allegiance to Canada, right? You swear allegiance to the state, Ontario, or wherever you live, right? And I don't know what the original government structure was in Canada when you guys left from wherever the fuck you come from and you come over here, right?
The same as you guys. The
But I'm
mostly
assuming
British in
that
France. It's the
you,
same as you guys.
you spread out across the land and established different territories, which then came together in a union. I'm guessing something like that, right?
Yeah, we
They
formed government. We formed a
like
government called
mutual
Canada that
defense,
has provinces and
right?
territories. Yep.
Right. So, so provinces are likely your version of municipal government,
Well,
while
so, the state. Yeah.
territory is the land. Not, and even on a state level. This goes all the way from your local government all the way up to quote unquote federal level. Okay, so the name of your city, right? Let's just say it's the city of Ontario, right? It's the city of Ontario. And then, well, let me just do my version of it because I don't understand how Canada stuff works. So here, Iowa State is the territorial jurisdiction. Iowa State. And then
Yeah.
the state of Iowa. And of has a very specific legal meaning, right? That means something that was created by the state. So, state of Iowa.
Yeah, of the people of Iowa, if you want to get.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
because the
The power
government
to
is
create
the
that state
people.
entity come from
I
the people.
understand. Yeah, I get it.
Right. So this is where everybody's like, "Oh, they think that they don't have to follow any laws." And what they're not understanding is that at least over here, they're called statutes, right? Uh, the Uniform Commercial Code and statutes and acts and ordinances. These are not laws. None of those are laws. They are acts and statutes and ordinances. And if you look into the definitions of what those words mean, those are all corporate bylaw things. That is corporate structure stuff. People don't understand the difference in between law, which is clearly defined in the Book of Styles, right? There's all kinds of stuff, all kinds of stuff. I can't do it all. I'm ADHD. I can't do it all at once. I've learned it over time, and I can't remember it when I want to, and that's why I have never stepped outside of the lines of what I'm allowed to do as a United States citizen, because I'm not a traitor, right? I don't know how to establish and or maintain my major estate. If I was able to, then I would have a trust, and then I would convey all of my property into the trust. My trust would have a trustee and a beneficiary, right? The beneficiary would be the family, because I would want to do things not for myself, but for other people, right? And this structure makes you a sovereign, because because then you're also conveying into the trust your identity and your birth record, which is a certificate of live birth, also known as the long form birth certificate, right? Because there's a short form and there's a long form, and they do have different purposes lawfully and legally, which also, by the way, are not the same thing. Lawfully and legal. Legal, not lawful. Not There's no word of law in it. It's legal, and legal stuff is corporate stuff. And all of this stuff is researchable. You can find it on like common educational websites. It's hard to find though. And when you do find it, it's hard to understand. It's intentionally convoluted. Does that make sense to you? They've and
Yep.
while they're making all of this quote unquote knowledge, right? It should be our right. The knowledge that to do this stuff should be our right. They should not be able to take that knowledge and secret it away. But they have. And that's the fraud. And that's what's really going on. So Donald Trump does not represent Americans. He represents the United States, which is a fraudulent company, which has actually gone bankrupt. And they're masquerading across the world. While at the same time, the republic still exists, but it's not forced. However, there are people that are doing something about that. Okay,
Shit. Oh no, he
on
hurt
a
me.
lawful level, each state is compiling uh, members of an assembly to represent the, the living man, basically, instead of dead corporate entities. Basically, what they do is they take your mother's uh, uh, what do you call it? The sack that the baby's in, placenta, and they create this corporate entity saying that it's dead, and they take its blood and sell it for like 50, 60, 80 grand. All, see, there's all kinds of crazy satanic fucking shit going on, and I don't want to go off the deep end. I'm trying to have a coherent, legal only kind of soiree on the subject. You know, I don't want to get into all the fucking really bad shit that it stems off of, or and why the whys of it are irrelevant right now. I don't want you to think that. I really, I feel like I do have a duty to try and get people what's going on. And trust me, I grew up as like proud American boy, loved that we came here and we sat down and had a meal with the people and from that trade became a great nation. Lies. All lies. Their lies whole lives. Not just the people who come to the American side, but the people that came to the Canadian side. Like, what they're telling you about your history is lies. From and over here, our first historical president was George Washington. There was many presidents before him, and they don't teach us about that. And it's a fact that you can look up before
Well,
there
what
was
about all the
that.
indigenous people? Like,
Exactly, there was a government here. There was an invasion and a fucking massacre. That's what really happened. Over 100 million natives, at least over here. I'm sure there was similar numbers, if not a little less, over there just due to climate.
oh,
You
Canada's
know what I
full
mean?
of natives.
Right, but due to climate, it
Ah,
lets
fuck.
people, it's less hospitable. You know what I mean? The northern regions of Canada are pretty fucking harsh.
I think our density, yeah, it was.
Yeah, yeah, right. Whereas across the United States, it's pretty well spread out.
But we had the buffalo running across the Saskatchewan and Manitoba. We had buffalo.
Well,
Um,
yeah, there
we
used to
we
be here
have
too.
we have huge grasslands in Canada also, right? Where
So,
you guys, some of your land is actually taken up by desert, where ours isn't. We don't
well,
have
yeah,
I
but
think
it's
we have
it's
one
taken
tiny
up by
little desert
mountains and
somewhere,
forest and like
but
uninhabitable like wildlands. Like it's dangerous for a human to just be out there without a firearm. Like
yeah,
there's places in Canada.
the Inuit.
There's tons. Yeah, there's tons of spots like that in Canada where it's just in his spot, inhospitable to human life. And people don't
Yeah, I
live
think
there
it's
because
crazy
it's
how
hard to
the
live there.
Inuit lived. How some of them are still living. I've watched lots of videos
Oh yeah,
of
oh
them
yeah. They're
putting up their yurts and shit like that, or their
mm-hmm.
teepees or whatever they're using, yurts and stuff. It's more of a yurt that they use, but it's crazy. They put down all the seal skins on the ground on the ice.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking crazy, fucking
Yep.
crazy. But yeah, anyways. But they were a lot of tribes were at war, like and there wasn't information exchange like now. You know what I mean? Like they didn't. It's an oral history when you go back far enough. It becomes an oral. There's no recorded papers, like besides some there's cave drawings, like I guess, but the natives even like 4,000 years ago weren't recording a government. Like there wasn't people walking around with papers exchanging ideas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, do you think that's a lie? What I just said?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, I
say
I don't think I don't know if I can say it again.
generalize.
Fuck. I keep missing this
I'm
game.
sorry. I'm
Let's
so
go.
sorry. I didn't mean to. I got attention problems. I heard something and I got distracted. I'm sorry, Bogart. I hate it when this happens to me. I'm really sorry.
Um,
When I say a bunch of stuff and then it happened earlier. I, I hate it when that happens. But I repeated
like
all of
what
that
I'm
for
saying
you.
is, there, 4,000 years ago with the natives, they they didn't have a written there was no written
They tell you there was
documentation
no.
of their government or of their lives of anything, right?
They
Where
tell you
Egypt
there
did.
wasn't.
Egypt shows like old, like very old, and the cradle of civilization, or if you will, like out east, where they have written documentation, and in Japan of forming government,
Writ.
right? But over here
Writ.
was the new world. And yes, there were tribes and whatnot. And yes,
No, no,
they
that's a
were
lie. That's a lie. There was full
like, 4,000
established.
years ago there wasn't a president or anybody in charge of like
No, I don't.
of
I don't
more
know
than
about 4,000 years ago, but
of more than
it.
their band. Like the Algonquin people were ruled by
Yeah,
a chief, if you will, probably, or chieftains, right? Many of them who would gather it, like, so that's a government
the Louisiana
in
Purchase.
itself, in a way, making decisions on where to hunt and what to grow or to move on or whatever, right? Or who's being a fucking weirdo, or who murdered who, or who's, you know what I mean? And you got to banish people and shit like that. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I guess that's a government. Like, but like, do you think even like 2,000 years ago, like there was a sitting president of this land that we're
They
sitting
have,
on?
yeah, they have added 1,000 years to the calendar by switching to the system that we are on now. We used to, not too long ago, we had 13 months of 28 days, right? The entire timeline is a lie. It used all timelines were based on the sun and the moon and the stars,
Well,
and
many
it was accurate.
civilizations have categorized like how to record the days
They've
going by.
added a thousand
There's been
years.
many different systems in the world,
But
right?
we're talking about a system of like the calendar system was the entire world shares it. Like we all share this calendar system, and
Yeah,
that's
now we do.
not the
Yes,
case.
now we do.
But
Yeah.
the most widely accepted calendar system in history was done away with in order for today's calendar system, which does this leap year and fucking daylight savings time to account for the time that they
Well, daylight
have
savings time has nothing to do with it. But anyway, now Canada wants to
no
get rid of it after
no
many years. They want to
they
get rid of
say
it.
they say daylight savings time to account for the days that are fucking missing, bro. That time has to be put back in because they've
Daylight
taken
savings time
away.
isn't that. Daylight saving
I
times
know,
is just taking an hour off and switching it. It's not taking anything
I
away or
I
giving
know, but
anything up.
our entire calendar system was based on real, like, things that were happening in the heavens. Okay, and it was accurate. It was accurate all the time. That's how
Yeah.
we used to do it, and we don't do it that way anymore. And there's a reason why.
Well, like
They don't
July
want
is
us
Julius
looking
Caesar,
up.
right? Like Julius, July, I believe, is where
I
July
I
came from.
I could not
They
tell you,
all,
but all of them stand for something, but then they get out of alignment. Okay, if you look like uh, there's certain months that the beginning of the word is like October, right? October. There used to be 13 months, bro, instead of 12.
I
There
wonder
was
if October is
13.
Octavian, the Roman Emperor
Eight.
Octavian.
Eight. Okay, so oct means eight. And dec, like December,
Yeah,
DEC,
that's
dec,
10.
that's 10,
Yeah,
right? So,
octagon, eight sides, octagon,
right.
deca.
So with the days and the month removed, they have to account for things and make leap years and weird shit that doesn't really make sense to us when we first you think back to it when you were a kid, it didn't make sense. It doesn't fucking make sense.
It
Right?
does make
And we
sense.
no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. All of our alignments with the heavens have been broken by this fucking calendar system. And there's much evidence of like 1,000 fucking years being added, even on buildings and structures that were built in 800 AD, right? And instead it says 1800 AD because they added a fucking one, bro. They've done this many, many, many times in many, many, many places. And one of the ways that you can tell with structures, anyways, is that structures, many older structures, they will say established in 1808, for example. It'll say it right on there. I have a big stone block with it chiseled into it. It'll say established 1808. And then other ones will say founded, right? Founded in 1808, right? So what they don't tell you is the etymology of the word founded. The root word of founded is found, and id is a part of language that accounts for past tense, right? It was found id. It was founded. It, and people don't understand how English language works. They call it spelling for a reason. They're fucking tricking us with language all the time about shit. History itself is a word that tells you it's a fucking story. The etymology of the word history makes it so obvious. It is his story. And they shove it right in your face. These people have been doing this forever, for all of recorded history. All of recorded history it's dude, the population of the earth has been reset several times. There's evidence all over the earth of mud floods, like buildings being buried to the fucking waist in mud. Window casements that seem to be underground for weird reasons. You seen that before?
What's out? What's
You
underground?
seen you seen like window casements on brick buildings where like the window casements like underground for some fucking reason? Like you can see that part of the building is underground from ground level. You can tell, okay, well, that this was a window frame at one point. It's like a stone window frame,
I
and
know
you
what
can
you're
see it.
saying. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and then it doesn't make any sense, right? That's obviously a window frame, and it obviously goes down below ground, and you can see it from above ground, right? There was a massive catastrophe or something upon the earth sometime in the past, and history has been rewritten. And not only was it rewritten, it was probably caused to reset the population of the earth. They've done it multiple times. This is my opinion. I've done a lot of research. I'm talking about I spent 15 years looking into all kinds of different stuff. And I'm losing my voice just talking about it because it actually fucking pisses me off. I hate being lied to, you know? And I was never a conspiracy theory guy. I was the
Okay,
guy
wait, wait.
who
Okay, if there's all these,
I fought to not believe this stuff. I want you to know that.
if there's all these like civilizations before us, right? Even in
Hmm.
say where I live right now, Ontario, right?
Yeah,
And
right.
there was a significant population of human beings that were fairly
Hmm.
advanced, let's say, whatever. Then they and then you know new civilizations have come through time. I don't know how much time you're talking about here. Are you talking millions of years? Are you talking
I
50,000
I
years?
I I don't
Like,
I deign to not delve too far into that, right?
okay, so
But I will say this. Hold on, hold on. I'm still answering. So,
okay,
re- but
but,
I know that around the time of the Roman Empire, that the Library of Alexandria was burned. Do you remember this?
yes, yes.
In Egypt, the Library of
Well,
Alexandria was
yeah,
burned, right?
throughout
And
time, major libraries have gone down. Yes.
and it retained all of the wealth of knowledge that Alexander the Great compiled on his journey conquering the entire Eastern Hemisphere,
Yeah.
right? That was just the library burning that they made public, right? That they couldn't hide because it was in the middle of fucking Egypt. There is some evidence that even the locations of places has been obfuscated, right? So literally, let's just say it's a Freemasonry thing. Let's just say that Freemasons are doing all of this stuff, right? Freemasons are very well known for playing both sides of the fence. It's called duality, right? They love the light and the dark and the good and the evil. They they want to control it all. And this is what these secret societies are really about. They don't care about money. They don't care about land. They care about ultimate power. And that's why this system is really in place. And it's now funded, observed, surveilled, and controlled by the Rothschild family and the banking cartels. I will call them cartels, the banking cartels. They're fucking gangsters. And they are robbing not just me of my freedom, but everyone that has central banking and this fucking charade about the goddamn birth certificates and what citizenship is and the different forms of citizenship that you have, they are hiding it from us. And it is only through extremely deep research and some native capability to retain and regurgitate information, right? And that's why they poison us with, and they let all this stuff that isn't healthy for us, right? That never existed in the food supply. It never existed in the food supply. Dude, a fucking Chick fil A sandwich in America has over 100 ingredients. They're dumbing us down and poisoning us on the pop population level, not
Yeah, this is
these.
what I think we need globally, or whatever comes into America and Canada and produce here food wise, to be we need some serious
Independent.
legislation. We need serious more laws to deal
It's
with,
not
to
going to
have
happen
better food. Like, you can't
as
sell that. Like,
as
people
long
need to be
as
denied the ability to sell certain products. Just like there's safety products protocols, for things you buy, like your
I agree
PS5.
with you.
Like, your PS5 isn't going to fucking burn down your house, right? Because it's been
Oh, it
tested,
could.
and it has
Yes, it could.
there's a certain standard that they have to make to sell you a product, right? Or they're going to get sued. They're like, I don't know, they won't be sell
I'm
it.
I'm going to
Anyways,
tell you something
that needs to
else.
happen with our food.
It,
We
I
need
don't think
serious
we're
regulations.
being surveilled
But there's too many
through
people
our
on the
fuck.
planet, man. We're poisoning the planet. We're ingesting poison. We
Right.
do stupid things because we're
Duality.
humans,
Right.
and that's just the way it is. Like,
I
unfortunately,
have
I just think
started.
there's way too many people on the planet. Honestly, like,
I I
it can't sustain us.
it can sustain
No, it
us.
can't. It can't. There's too many
Yes, it
people.
Yes, it can,
Imagine if there's
dude.
double the amount of people there is now.
I understand what you're saying,
Like,
okay?
you'll be eating your
But
fucking neighbor. You'll be
the
cooking
thing,
them up.
the no, the problem, because listen, population wasn't a fucking problem when evil people were allowed to be
We've
killed,
never had this kind of
okay?
population on the
No,
earth that we know of.
because evil people are allowed to exist,
Well, and
Bogart.
they're always going to exist. That's a fact.
No, here, just in the beginning of the United States, I mean, obviously, I think that from the founding of the United States as it exists today, which happened in the early 1900s, okay? Early 1900s, not half, less than half of the age of our fucking republic, right? Listen, dude. Oh man, I'm losing my train of thought. It's too much. Okay, I can't even finish. I lost my train of thought. Dude, they're fucking us. I promise you that I didn't go off half cocked and watch a YouTube video and then start telling people it was true. I've seen the same stuff from many different people over and over and over again over years time. 1 second. And and I've looked it up. I've looked
Okay, I
up
want
the
to finish
case
my thought
law.
about something here that you derailed. But if there's all these old civilizations, remember I was talking about that? And if they're
Yep.
like a million years old, 50,000 years old, 500,000 years old, whatever.
They
Say all
they could
three. Say
not.
there's major civilizations in those three areas of time. So a million years ago, 500,000 years ago, and 50,000 years ago, there was major civilizations, let's say. Where in the on earth anywhere is there any evidence of that? A major civilization, not we found this weird thing in a rock that shouldn't be there. Like no, I mean, like, where's the evidence of their bones, their petrified bones, known
Have
as
you
like
ever you've
we
never
found we
heard
find
of
dinosaurs. We find dinosaurs which we know are
you've never heard of the
350.
catacombs?
Wait, let me talk.
The catacombs.
But produce.
They're
So okay,
I
catacombs were
can't
dug. Yes,
I
I've seen that. I've seen that.
millions.
Okay, but that's not
Millions
millions
of.
of years old. It's not.
I know.
So,
Bones do eventually
and
biodegrade,
it's not that
okay?
big. Like, it's big in our
Bo-
mind, I guess, but it's not like civilization big, you
it
know.
doesn't take forever for bones to disintegrate, man. If they're kept dry like in the catacombs, they can last a
Or
long
they
time if they don't.
petrify and become like dinosaur bones, like petrified. They're not
They
actually
can't,
bones. It's
but
petrified rock, right?
it takes very specific circumstances to create a fossil. That's not
Yeah,
what
yeah.
usually
So where's the
happens.
fossils? Where's the
Bones
fossil
just
record of these
not
old
everything.
civilizations? It doesn't
There
exist.
there was a mud flood. There was a fucking mud flood that took out a bunch of fucking dinosaurs, okay? And they got trapped in the mud and they were fossilized somehow. How we don't know. I'm just telling you that the
Yeah, we do
timeline
know how
is
they've been.
wrong.
We know how
No, we
fossilization
don't.
works. Yes, we do.
No, we
Yeah,
fucking
we
don't.
do.
Those are all theories.
No, they're
They have
not.
not
They're proven.
they can't they can't just go and fossilize some things and have it be the same as fossils. They don't know how it happens. It's
They know
all
how
theory.
fossil forms meet. They
No,
understand
they
this.
don't. No,
Yes,
they don't.
people on Earth understand this stuff.
No,
Yeah,
dude.
they do.
They
You telling me
believe
they
what they're
don't know how a
told.
dinosaur bone
They
forms? Maybe you
they
don't,
believe
but
what
they
they're
do.
told. They believe what they're told.
No, no, they
They
research it. They
can't do
dedicate their
it.
lives to
They can't
knowing these
do it.
things.
They
They
can't do
dedicate their
it.
whole lives to knowing
They
these
can't make
things.
it happen. They don't know how to do it.
And on top of that,
They can't,
meat, they
they
use
can't
they use the
fossilize
knowledge.
things.
Wait, listen to me. They use the
Then
knowledge
how then how
that
come
has
they
been
can't
passed
repli
down. Wait, you won't shut up,
they
eh? For
because
two
they can't
seconds. You do
replicate
a
this
lot of
shit and
talking, but you
you're
don't listen too good, do you?
because they're not replicating
You're
fucking
not even listening to what
fossilization.
I'm
They can't
my
do
argument.
it
You won't even let
because
me talk.
the first part of your argument is fucking moot.
Well, you can't
They
find.
do
Show me
not.
the evidence. Show me any evidence of
You
these
can't
fucking.
find any brand new fucking fossils that they say, hey, this is exactly how it's done. We can do it right here with this equipment. They cannot and will not. show proof of how fossils are made. And you can
Well,
look it
wait,
up.
wait. Yeah, they do, but you're not
No, they
accepting it.
say they
You won't
know,
accept
but
their evidence.
they cannot perform an experiment to create a fossil.
No, because it takes millions. It takes time.
No, it doesn't. They're hiding stuff from us, Bogart.
What happens when a fossil is made is the bone is replaced with rock over time, and it
Mineral
hardens in
rapid
the shape of
rapid
what was a bone.
research rapid mineralization and then come back and talk to me. My mom's calling me. I'll be back.
That's whatever, rapid mineralization. Eat a bum.
Don't have a good day. Have a great day.
Yo,
You know,
so there's no evidence of major advanced civilizations like ours before, like,
not like ours.
and they know how fossils are made. And my point I was trying to yell India is, in every serious discipline of our knowledge, it's not just that one person that's obtaining this knowledge. It's thousands and thousands and maybe hundreds of thousands of people that dedicated their lives to that subject, that are collectively putting all that information together so that we can understand it. That's how we go to space, because we evolve, like, we know things, we understand things, right?
I'm sorry, Bogart.
You're sorry?
It's yeah, you're
Like,
not
this is
ready.
why people go to university and dedicate their lives and to a discipline, right?
Still alive. They believe what they're taught.
No, they think on their own. Like, you think it's a, how can you can't get 20 people to agree on dinner. How do you get them to agree to dupe the world with their knowledge? Like, you know what I mean? There are always going to be people who lie and stuff to succeed or have power. It's either for power, money, or women. It's one of the three. You know, it's always that. It's all the greed. The greed is that. It's power, money, or women.
People do agree, though.
Yeah, they do, but you can't.
Not in your world.
You can't have a global conspiracy about a civilization that existed however long ago. Like,
That's not true.
you're not gonna have biologists agree.
No.
They're not gonna agree, dude.
They don't. Biologist learns everything he knows from.
Or an archaeologist. Like, archaeologists are not going to all agree. They argue constantly, these people.
Mm-hmm.
So, like this Graham Hawk guy, or Graham whatever the fuck his name is, Graham Hawkins or whatever his name is, that believes in these old civilizations and stuff. There's so, like, unfortunately he's become really popular, but a lot of what he says isn't true. Like, it's just not true. Because anybody can spout whatever they want, but where's the proof? Give me the proof of it.
Where's the proof that it took millions of years to make a fucking fossil?
Well, we have that in all the dinosaurs
No,
we
you don't.
found. We have
No, you
that in
don't.
all the
Nobody
core
is-
drilling.
No.
There's core drilling going on all over the world, where they core down fucking kilometers and research the Earth and how it was formed and the bacteria that's in it and everything else about it. Happens every day. There's scientists working on that right now.
But
As we
there
speak.
are some generally accepted things that exist as accepted before any of that research is done. Okay? That research is done with what they were taught is true. And that's real, dude. I'm sorry, but the Rockefeller, or at least over here, the Rockefeller Foundation owns all public education.
Well, that's public
And-
education, but what people do outside of public
and
education
change-
is up to them. Like,
Dude,
once these
you
people
think-
have
you
their
think
doctorate,
colleges are
have
fucking
their...
immune to a worldwide conspiracy? Do you think colleges are immune to a worldwide conspiracy? They're not.
almost...
There's
they-
many colleges that the most intelligent people in the world cannot get into.
I think what you just said, like a worldwide conspiracy, is like, think of how hard that would be to maintain and develop and maintain.
Impossible, Bogart.
Like, it's like the flat argument. It's like the flat Earth argument. Like, it's,
I'm agreeing
for the round earthers to be able to keep up that lie forever is impossible. It's impossible. It's just and besides, it's a matter, like, the science behind it. There's science, like, and obvious.
accepted science, but it's not.
Okay,
a lot
well,
of the shit is
like,
not fucking
right now,
proven.
go onto the live feed of the fucking space station and look at the Earth. It's fucking round.
It-
It's fucking round. It's right there.
It's a fucking CGI.
No, it's not. It
Yes,
it fucking.
is.
Okay, wait. Then
you
how did
cannot
it?
zoom
How did
in.
it? How did that
You
exist
can't-
before
you-
CGI?
You cannot zoom into fucking Australia and see people standing upside down, Bogart. They don't ever do it. They won't ever do it. Yet they say they got satellites out there that can zoom
That's
all the
not
way
how.
in on
That's
us.
not how centrifugal. That's not how gravity works. But anyways, we're not upside down. Well, I guess we're upside down in theory, but we're stuck to the Earth because of gravity.
It's not a theory if it's not a theory.
Well,
Okay,
yeah. Well,
the
the
problem
gravity is
is
real.
that
Gravity's
it
a
is a
proven
theory.
thing. It's a proven. Obviously,
No,
throw an
it's
orange
not.
up in the air. What happens? It lands, right?
Because of density.
No, because of gravity. Because we're being pulled.
No, Bogart.
We're being pulled by the greatest force around us, which is the center of the
Because
Earth in this
It's
case.
because of density. The only things
Okay,
that can
well,
get on
you-
the ground become less dense than air, or they have some other means to
Okay, so CGI. You think?
it's far more advanced than what.
Okay,
they
so what about all the
let
pictures
public-
of before CGI and before computers, like before, like
They look fake.
all the physical fucking experiments that we can do on Earth to prove that the world is round? You know?
Can't.
Yeah, you can. Why can't you? You just you're a science refuser.
No. There's all these fucking theories that are built into what you're saying, and you haven't.
But they're
done your
proven
due
facts.
diligence.
They're proven.
You're
And they're
accepting what you were
scrutinized.
taught.
No, they're
I
scrutinized.
I
Just
did
because
it
somebody
myself.
says something doesn't make it so.
Dude,
You have to
I've
prove
watched people-
your theory. Prove it.
I've watched hours.
It doesn't matter how many hours. Prove it.
I am not gonna go
Prove
out
it.
and buy. I'm not gonna go out and buy a $5,000 fucking laser to prove it. Okay, I'm not going to do that. But I have watched.
It can be
videos
proved in
of-
any eclipse.
I have watched hours-long experiments and watched these people set up lasers and shoot them straight across distances that should not be possible when the curvature of the Earth is accounted for. It cannot happen. Light.
Well, it's not
travels in
true.
a straight
It's not.
line.
It's not true.
Light travels in a straight line, and that is provable. Okay? The whole Earth is not flat. Our realm is flat. It is surrounded by ice and water.
What I'm saying is
flat.
the curvature of the Earth it can be proven with a laser, and whatever you saw, I don't know what it is, but there's many experiments you can see that you see the curvature of the Earth. You can even see it if you have a big enough body of water in front of you. You can actually see, you know, you can see the ship disappear. You see the ship disappear, right? Because
Dude,
over every
that-
every
can't-
kilometer, it drops about 6 inches. I
you-
think it drops over a
You cannot
kilometer.
You cannot see that far.
Yeah, you can see a ship disappear. You can see hundreds of kilometers if
That is where your eyes can no longer.
Or you could
see
use
that far.
binoculars. Like, are your binoculars
When it
lying to you?
supposedly disappears.
Anyways, you're
when it
roboting. You
supposedly-
got to restart the party. You're robot. I can't. I'm playing right now. I can't do it. He said she fucking. Wow, that's crazy talk, dude. That's fucking crazy. Yo.
Trying to find my place. 1 second. With the naked eye, you can watch a ship disappear over the
Horizon. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Over the curvature of the earth.
But if you have analog magnification, lenses only, no digital bullshit, you have a telescope or a high
Binoculars. Binoculars on a post.
zoom and a high zoom
And you'll
lens,
still
right?
see it disappear.
You can zoom in and see it again. Okay? And that's a fact. It disappears to the naked eye. It is in the distance farther than your eye can perceive.
If you did get it back into vision, it would
magnification.
disappear again.
Out of range of what you can see through atmospheric interference.
No, it would go over the curvature of the earth.
No.
How about
That
all
is
these
a theory.
flights? How do airplanes work with a flat earth?
Yeah, you really don't want to go with.
I've watched all this shit, dude. It's funny. You should watch Creaky Blinder, because Creaky Blinder debunks all this shit like I am doing it. You need to watch him until you
should
figure this shit
watch-
out.
You should watch those flight paths.
You got to start believing in science
On a
and
flat-
a bit.
When,
You gotta start believing in science. So
I-
how do they know how to
I
do
believe-
operations? How do they know how to cure cancer? How do they know how to make
They
an
don't.
engine? How do
They
they know
don't.
how to make different
they don't cure
alloys
cancer.
and metals?
They cut it out.
How do they know how?
I'm not saying all science is a lie. You're
Well-
a victim of what the fuck you believe, and I am not. Okay?
Yeah,
They're
you are.
lying to
You're
you,
more of a
and
victim
you
than I
believe
am.
it.
You're making
No, I'm
yourself a
not.
victim. I don't feel like I'm a
No.
victim of anything.
No, you're trying to convince
I'm
me of
in
something.
control of my own
I'm telling
destiny.
you what I believe.
I'm in
You're
control of
trying
my
to
own
convince me
thoughts.
and asking me to prove to you to something that I know is true.
Well,
and I don't
if
have
you
to
know
do
something's
that.
true, then you need to
I-
prove it.
No,
Prove
I
it.
don't.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
I
Prove it.
only have to prove it
Otherwise,
to me.
it's a belief. It's a belief.
No,
It's not a no.
I proved it to me. I don't need
That's
to
not
prove
good
it to
enough.
you.
That's
If
insane
you
talk.
you have not proved the stuff that you say.
Yeah, I
You have
just,
not.
I am. I'm
No,
giving you what I'm
no.
saying.
You're quoting someone else. You know nothing.
I'm quoting thousands
You've
and
done
thousands of people.
Zero experiments.
I don't have to do that because somebody else has done the
Oh, I
experiment.
don't have to do it. Somebody else did it. Same,
I can do certain
motherfucker.
experiments. I
You're
can
being
see.
lied to,
I can
and
see
I'm
that the
not.
Earth is curved
I
over
have considered-
water.
No, you can't.
I can see this
No, you
at my
can't.
cottage. My cottage is
No,
about
you
a kilometer.
can't.
Listen to me. Shut up. The cottage is about a kilometer. I can see about a kilometer from the shore where I'm at my cottage. I can literally, on a super still night where there's like no wind whatsoever or whatever, and oh, fifth. Oh, and he left. Whew. Wow. It's crazy talk. Gamer Zero, you're fucking out of your fucking mind. Out of your fucking mind sometimes.